Well, I've been a member of Elite 6 for almost 3 years now, I think. And so clearly I like it. Clearly it works. And the reason I like it, it took me a little while to figure out why I liked it, but after thinking about it a little bit, what I realised Danny has done is there's lots of networking groups around. There's tons of them. But they all are based on what they don't like about other networking groups. So people that don't like to get up and be networking at 7 o'clock go to a networking group that starts at 9:30 because they don't like getting up at 7 o'clock. People that don't like networking where you have to give referrals will go to ones where you don't have to give referrals. But Danny hasn't done that. What he's done is he's created a networking group based on a real model of what works, not what doesn't work. So what he's done is he realizes that business networking only works if people care about one another. And that may sound kind of corny and sentimental, but that's what works. So if you go to Elite 6, you develop real friendships, and it's not based on, gee, I have to give a referral this week. You don't have to give referrals, you give referrals because you want to. And you only give referrals because you want to because you have a real connection with that person that you've developed over time. So that's what I like about Elite 6. And I hesitated to mention BNI, but that's sort of the model that everyone is basing what they don't like on. But Danny hasn't done that. He's just created a different model. And you know, the thing about some networking groups is I've been members of many different, so I understand them all quite well, is that because there's pressure to give referrals, you get bad ones. And I have actually had someone who's referred me to somebody and then called me up 3 weeks later and gone, I hope you didn't use that person, I've just realised they're terrible. But he gave me that referral because he needed the numbers and he was under pressure to give referrals. The other thing that Danny does, which is different from most networking groups, is you talk each week in small groups rather than big groups. So we have our speaker who talks about their business in the larger sense, but then we get together and we talk in small groups and we talk about more specific things. And it's more intimate, so you're more able to ask advice of people, and there's a back and forth, there's an interaction. It's not just you talking about your business, it's people will respond and ask you questions, and you can ask for advice, you can say, this is my struggle today, and it's a lot more free form. But it enables you to develop, once again, that real connection with people and for people to really get to know you. So, and then he's leading it, and he's so generous of character and generous of spirit that it sort of draws you into that and encourages you to be that way as well. So he's not withholding, or he's so into what he does, and he's so into connecting people up that you can't help but be pulled into that. If I don't go each week, I miss it. It's sort of like a family in a way. Sometimes when you're in business, even if you have a business partner like I do, you've got your head down and you're going, but you're not reflective. And we go to Elite 6 and we sort of reflect on our business, and we often get insights and solve our own problems that we've been thinking about because we've got an insight, or we can ask specific advice. I remember a guy company that was a member of Elite 6, and he was just starting out and he was clearly going to do very well, and his competition realised this and so decided they were going to buy him out. And they were going to buy him out by offering him a really fabulous job with them and to bring his business with. And what we knew was going to happen was they were going to shut his business down. That's what they would, and he couldn't see that because he was so, he was on the tightrope with money. So it was really tempting for him, and we were all like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And he didn't, and he's now so glad that he didn't. So and because we were there for him, and because we were from outside, we could see what was going to happen, whereas he's in it going, oh, how do I pay my bills? So it's I keep going because it's like a family, like a business family. It has helped my business in a direct way. I've done work for people in Elite Six, a lot of people in Elite Six, because you do have the opportunity to travel around and expand your network beyond that one group. I've gotten a lot of business from people who've gotten to know me. Word gets around that I do good work and that I've been successful, so then they tell their neighbours. So it's just helped my business. Referrals just keep coming in. Oh, that sense of camaraderie. Yeah, I'm really happy to see everybody every week, and I feel that they're for me and I'm for them. So it's sort of like, I have my family here in this house, and then I have my business family. That's my business family. It keeps me focused on my business in a way that I don't normally do day to day. No, I don't necessarily get good advice, but if I'm thinking about something and I bring it there, I get encouragement to act on what I'm already thinking of doing. So I can go in and go, look, I've got this problem, I think I want to solve it this way, and people will go, yes, we think you should do that too. We've had a similar problem. So you get to bounce off people and get that clarity. When I go in there and I see people struggling with having employees and or struggling with immigration issues, all the things that they struggle with, and I think, God, I'm glad I don't have that problem. So it makes me feel encouraged that they're struggling and not giving up and keeping going. And then I go, oh, my problems, well, and then you come back with a renewed vigour and you go, well, okay, because you think when you have problems, you think you're the only one with them. And you go in and you find everybody struggling with exactly the same issues you are, and that's just part of business. You walk away going, oh, well, that's just part of business. So, yeah, I am encouraged every time I go in there. Danny could confirm this. I've been a member, I think, since 2016. Well, I have recommended it to friends. It depends what trade they were in. But I've recommended it to a couple of members in our group that we belong to. And one was a woman who's just starting out in business, and I said to her, look, this is going to keep you focused. There are going to be people that give you lots of advice. So for a person starting out in business, there's also resources there at the table that you might need. That's great. For somebody who's already in business, I might say, well, look, I have a person that's in a trade that I'm trying to encourage to come. And what I would do is say, look, there's a lot of trades in our group. We've got a drain layer, we've got a contractor, we've got a bathroom person, we've got, we had an electrician, so we've got a tiler. So we've got a lot of trades. So I would talk about that, because those are the people they would want to meet. See, so it depends on who they were and what stage of business they were at. But I would just talk about my experiences and just say, I'm never going to not be a member while I'm in business. I'm not into standing around a room and just dishing out referrals and getting referrals and getting my numbers up. And I want real human connection and real friendships. That's what my business is based on. My business is 100% based on trust. People have to trust me with what they're about to engage me to do. So, and that's what I thrive on. That's what I'm good at. So I like relationships that are based on trust and real friendship and real trust. That's what Elite Six is all about.